Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and jump into the next week, which is going to be our perm week. On our perm week, we're going to have Karen right here. She's going to be showing you guys how to do the perm, the different types of ways to do the perm, and we're going to go through the whole procedure itself. We're going to go ahead and jump into everything that needs to get done step by step, and this is a very long procedure because perming does take a long time, but it's a very important procedure itself. Perm, remember, is one of the most strongest chemicals that we're going to be using in our industry. So it's really important to make sure that you guys understand the safety of it. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the procedure right now. Okay, you guys, so first step you want to do is to always make sure you sanitize your hands before you touch any client. First part we are going to talk about is going to be the scalp analysis. On the scalp analysis, the reason we're doing this is to make sure that the client doesn't have any irritation or abrasions or anything on the scalp that's going to make it hard for us to be able to do the chemical. Again, we are working with a very strong chemical, so you want to make sure that you do the scalp analysis before you do anything. We're going to go ahead and wet down the hair a little bit to make sure that we can section it out. We are going to be working with sections when we're doing a perm, so it's important for you to make sure that you have good control of everything that you're doing. So we're going to use a vent brush to be able to get through the hair as smooth as possible, take out any tangling that might be on the hair. And then we're going to go ahead and part it. We're going to be doing what is called a 5-section part. It's going to be the front section is going to be into 2, and then the back part is going to be divided into 3 sections. Make sure you guys try to work as clean as possible. Your sections must be nice and clean to be able to work. The cleaner your sections, the better you're going to be able to work, and the better everything will come out at the end. If you guys see on the station, we have extra tools. In case something falls, we have extra combs, extra clips. We have everything extra just in case something falls on the floor. We're ready to go with extra stuff. So again, the front part goes to go into 2 sections. And then we're going to start working on the back part. Remember to always use a perm rod to make sure that you measure the distance. You want to put that middle section right in between the holes that comes on the perm rod. You want to stay within that section to make sure that you don't do the section a little bit too wide. The reason we have those holes on the perm rod is to make sure that the air and the chemical itself travels from one side to the other to the inner part of the hair. So make sure that your section where you're going to be perming stays within those whole sections on the perm rod. Once you have that measurement, go ahead and pin up the 2 sections that we're not going to be working with at this moment. Remember, we are doing what is called a state board perm, but this actually is a good practice for you guys to learn how to do perming overall. We're going to be working with that middle section. You want to make it so that we're able to fit a minimum of 10 to 12 rods in that middle section. So we're going to go ahead and clip up the 2 sides, and then right now we're going to go ahead and turn it around so that you guys can see the section that we left so that we can do the perming in the back. Your perm section should go from the crown all the way down to the nape area in the bottom. And as you can see here, we have that section in the middle that we're going to be working with. We have the other 4 sections are going to be pinned up. And again, you want to measure your perm section with your perm rod to keep that section in between the holes. Okay, you guys, so you want to make sure that when you're doing the perm, that you get the perm section, each parting that you're going to be doing throughout this part, you want to make sure that it's not thicker than your perm rod itself. So make sure that you always get the first one at least to be able to get the sizing. Remember, it must stay within the holes and it cannot be thicker than your perm rod itself. So you want to use your perm rod to be able to measure. Go ahead and section it out, and every parting should be no thicker than your perm rod section. Make sure you guys wet the hair as much as possible. Remember that when you're doing the perm, the hair must be wet throughout the procedure itself. Right now, the first step that we're going to show you guys is going to be called the book fold. So we're going to grab a little bit of the paper, the perm papers. We're going to go ahead and fold it halfway, and half of it is going to be in the front, half of it goes in the back. Wet it. Make sure that you guys maintain the hair spread open. The perm paper must go on top of the ends. Make sure that the ends of the hair are not into a ponytail section. They stay open, and the paper goes on top of the ends. The elevation, try to always keep it at a 90-degree angle. So a couple of things here, you want to make sure that the elevation stays at a 90-degree angle on the scalp. So as you're moving this way, your elevation is going to follow the shape of the scalp itself. So you want to make sure you keep it at a 90. You want to make sure that your rubber band is always visible on the top. The rubber band cannot be putting pressure on the hair in the bottom. Remember that this is a very strong chemical, so you don't want your perm rods to be super tight. A lot of people think that the perm rod needs to be super tight and firm to have a nice perm rod, and it doesn't work like that. The perm rod has to have a little bit of wiggle room, because if it's too tight, the minute that you put the chemical on there, the entire hair is going to rip apart. The hair at this point cannot have any tension. So if the rubber band is cutting into the hair, the minute you put the chemical, it's going to rip apart. If the perm section is too tight, the minute you put the solution, it's also going to rip apart. So you want to make sure that the rubber band stays visible, and you want to make sure that you have a little bit of wiggle room. This is a good perm section. So from here, we're going to move on down that way. We're going to show you guys one more different technique that a lot of people like to use. This one's called a double flap. So we're going to grab two papers. We're going to put one in front of the other, and we're going to go ahead and do our perm section like that. Most of the times, people use the book fold because it's the most common section. When your hair is uneven and you're not able to do the book fold because it's a smaller section that the perm paper covers, if I'm working with somebody that has very uneven hair, then the two paper one, the one that goes in the front and the back, the double paper, that's the one that's going to work better for you guys because it's going to cover a bigger section. So we're going to show you guys right now how to do the one that goes in the front and the back with using two perm papers. Again, this is a technique that you want to use for people that have uneven hair. Remember to always maintain your comb with your hand. Don't put it back on your station. You want to keep it on your hand. We're going to put a paper in the back, and it goes in a vertical position. On the book fold, it goes in a horizontal position. We're going to put one in the front, one in the back. Wet it to make sure that it sticks together. And again, you cannot oversaturate the hair, so make sure that you guys saturate it and make it work for you. Make sure that the ends the paper goes past the ends. Again, you want to make sure that the hair stays as open as possible, and you see how much of a section now it covers on the perm paper. So if I had hair that was uneven, the perm paper will still be able to hold it together. And that's one of the main reasons why we would use a double paper perm rod. Same thing, you want to keep it at a 90-degree angle. Start from the top, make sure that the ends are not what is called book folds. You don't want to twist them back and create what is called fish hooks. Okay guys, so we just finished doing our perm section. So again, we want to make sure that you have 10 to 12 perm rods. Make sure that the rubber bands are visible. Make sure that we don't have too much tension on the perm rods itself. Again, a lot of people want to get those perm rods super tight because they think it looks really nice. But remember, we're going to be applying a very strong chemical. So we want to make sure we don't have too much tension. Then that chemical, when it starts activating, it's going to rip everything apart and their hair is going to fall out. So once we have our perm section and we're done with this, we're going to go ahead and jump on to the next part. From here, we want to make sure that we apply what is called protective cream. So protective cream is very important when we're working with strong chemicals to protect the skin of the person. We're gonna grab and take out one of the spatulas. Remember, everything in the spatula bag is clean, so we don't wanna put our hands in there. We're gonna go ahead and take it out. Once we get that, we're gonna scoop out a little bit of the protective cream, apply it on your hand, on the wrist area. Discard the area, the application stick that we just used. We're gonna go ahead and put that in the items to be disinfected. And then we're gonna go ahead and apply a little bit of protective cream around the hairline to protect the client's skin in case there's any dripping from the chemical solution that we're gonna be using. Again, it's a very strong chemical solution, so any solution that goes on the skin is gonna irritate and burn the client. Once we apply our protective cream, we're gonna go ahead and take out what is called a cotton coil. The cotton coil is gonna go around the area that we're perming. In this case, again, we only did that middle section, so we're only gonna put the cotton coil around the middle section that we did. If we did the entire head, then we would put protective cream around the entire head, and the cotton coil would go around the entire head itself. This is gonna absorb the chemical to make sure that it prevents it from going out into the skin. If we did the entire head, the cotton coil would go around the scalp area, protecting the client's skin itself. It's gonna absorb any extra liquid that we might get. From here, we're gonna go ahead and put on our gloves. We're working with very strong chemicals, so we wanna make sure we protect our hands. We are gonna pick up what is called our chemical solution. Make sure you guys double check on the solution itself. Remember, we have two containers. One is a neutralizing and one is a chemical solution. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and apply the solution itself. Remember, when you're applying, you wanna make sure that the bottle does not touch the hair itself. There has to be a distance between it. When you're applying it, you wanna go one strip on the top, one strip in the bottom, one strip. So you're gonna be doing 2 strips of application per perm rod. One in the top, one in the bottom, one in the top, one in the bottom. And you will continue doing it until the instructor tells you, okay, go ahead and stop. At that point, you're gonna go ahead and stop. Continue applying it. Again, what we're looking for is making sure that the bottle does not drag on the hair itself and that the solution gets put at least one on the top, one in the bottom, one in the top, one in the bottom, one in the top, one in the bottom, and you're gonna keep going. If by any chance you get more further than here and the instructor hasn't told you to stop, you can always put the bottle back on the table and incline your mannequin a little bit more forward to prevent the chemical from falling into the floor. A lot of people keep going, and when they get to this part, the chemical will start dropping to the floor and that becomes a hazard. So you can always just make sure that you stop, go ahead and incline it a little bit more, sanitize your hands, and then you can keep going for the perm rods that are after that. We might sometimes have you do a couple of them in the bottom just to see if you're able to do that prevention to make sure that the chemical does not fall to the floor. Once you do this, then we're gonna go to the next section. They're gonna tell you, go ahead and demonstrate the curl. We're gonna do what is called a curl test. You're gonna uncurl one of the perm rods and you're gonna push it down. You're not gonna pull up and down. You do not wanna pull the perm rod at this point. A lot of people tend to go up and down, pretty showing what they're doing. So a lot of people tend to go like this and pull on the mannequin, and that will rip the hair apart. So you wanna make sure you don't do that. You're gonna uncurl it, you're gonna push it down, demonstrate the edge curl, and then you're gonna go ahead and roll it back up. So there's no tugging on this perm rod. Remember, the hair at this point is very sensitive. Any pulling will rip the hair apart. Once we do that, then the instructor will also tell you, or they might themselves take out a couple of perm rods, and what they're going to be checking is for the ends of the perm to make sure that the ends are not what is called fish hook. Fish hook means that the ends are being twisted around, and remember that anything that we're doing right now, the shape in the bottom is going to maintain that. So you want to make sure that your ends are nice inside the paper and that they're nice and spread. So this would be a good way to do it. If it was fish hook, you can see the ends will be coiled together, and that's going to damage the ends with the chemical. So again, the instructor might ask you to go ahead and choose one, or the instructor might come in and do one or two themselves. It's up to them how they test you. So what we're checking for is checking for fish hooks. At this point, once everything is done, you're gonna go ahead and put that one. Make sure you guys are separating everything where they go. Remember that the perm paper goes in the trash and the perm rod goes into the items to be disinfected container. The perm rods will get washed and reused. Perm papers get thrown away. So now we're gonna go ahead and once we're done, they're gonna tell you, go ahead and you can have 5 minutes to be able to remove all the perm rods, separate them into where they go, throw away the perm papers, throw the items to be disinfected for the perm rods, remove the coil, and we're gonna resection this back part into 2 parts now. Right now it's into 3, 1, 2, and 3. Right now at the last part, we're gonna divide this in half, and a half section here in 2. So at the end, we'll have 4 sections that gets your mannequin ready for the next part. Okay, you guys, so just make sure that when you guys are removing the perm rods, make sure that you guys maintain your gloves on. Remember, you are touching hair that still has chemical, so you want to make sure that you keep your gloves on. The perm papers are going to go in the trash, and then your perm rods will go in the items to be disinfected. Once you finish removing those, and now we're going to go ahead and section out this part. We're going to follow the line that we have in the front, and we're going to go this way, and we're going to go this way. We're going to have one here and one here. So these 3 sections will become 2 sections. And then we're going to end up with a quadrant with 4 sections.
Once you are done, you guys are gonna remove your station. You guys are just gonna have your universal. This is gonna go in the trash. These are leftovers, so you guys are gonna throw this all in the trash. Anything that's plastic or any perm rods or extra perm rods are gonna go on items to be disinfected. And then when you remove your gloves, it is a chemical. It's gonna go in the trash. You guys are gonna hand sanitize and step back.